You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
What a tangled web we weave. And with that, welcome everybody to episode 44 of Sit, Talk, and Listen.
44. What up?
44 in our third very special appearance and hopefully full-time coming soon. But for now, definitely a very special guest.
Very special.
And that is Mr. Brady Hop.
Brady,
What up?
welcome back to
Thanks,
the
man.
pod.
I'm so glad I came out tonight, man.
Dude, from K dot to dot dot dot, what is the next reply?
Boy.
Today is June 4th, 2025. Kendrick Lamar is in town in St. Louis playing the show right now as we talk.
Yeah.
Brady came in town. We were thinking about trying to find some scalp tickets for a nice cheap price, and that didn't work out.
Never
we
materialized.
So we decided to get together for this pod.
And it's going to be a good one. I'm leading the ship today, like I said I was going to last week, but obviously, you know, we got producer Tony over there, so I'm going to have to lean on him. And we have a lot of stuff to get into, but right now it is 44th episode. So off the rip, Brady, you didn't want to read the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of 44 is...
Yeah, man. As a Giants fan, Ahmad Bradshaw, my guy. Huge player in Giants history.
And he's part of the Earth, Wind, and Fire regime that was Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs, and...
Ahmad Bradshaw put up big
Derek
numbers for
Ward.
me.
Oh, it was Derek Ward was the Fire, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, I'm sorry, Derek Ward.
He said,
But
I'm sorry, Derek.
44. And then what two comes to my mind is
I claimed Pronger last week. So.
he did claim Pronger. He is
Just got to jump on
he
it.
is the 44,
He
but
is, yeah.
there is
Look,
also
dude, I got put in a penalty box at a fifth grade party for body checking a kid that was talking smack about
Kyle?
Chris Pronger. No,
oh yeah.
long before I knew that
Dude,
guy.
Bob's taking more than body checks from Kyle.
Unsolicited dick pics.
Whoa.
Boy, you just jumped right into it.
We
Hold
are
on.
no.
We're gonna dip our toe in the water
Yes,
first.
come on.
it
We are
easy.
gonna get there. Everybody,
Tease.
everybody, relax.
No, we didn't get a tease. We got full shotgun blast.
Yes. It's like a Tarantino film where we start with like the climax, and then we
Yeah.
rewind, and then we get there. But yes, Kyle Portwood's penis will be discussed
Will be mentioned.
at great length today.
Hey, yo.
Gosh, that is why we are sponsored so heavily for comments like that. But in the meantime, we cannot move on from 44 without mentioning Hammerin' Hank Aaron.
right.
Yep.
In some people's minds, a home run king. Barry Bonds is my GOAT, but I can understand the Hank Aaron. Nothing, no image burned in my memory like the two fans rounding third base with Hank Aaron patting him on the back when he took over that record. So you can't mention 44 without Hank Aaron. And another 44 that comes to my mind is Lil Wayne's bar when he says 44 on my waist, Rick Ross jeans. Absolute bar.
That's huge, yeah.
44 on my waist, Rick Ross
44 is
jeans.
huge.
I've been faded, stonewashed jeans, new pussy, new money, New Orleans. Or anyways,
He said, all right, anyway.
I don't even, okay, so we have, before we even get into just 15-year-old relationships rekindled,
Yeah.
we got to
Old
talk about,
friendship renewed.
this happened on June 4th, Kyle messaging Bob, but tell us what else we're celebrating on June 4th. Oh, and it's Sean, my roommate Sean's 31st birthday, so happy birthday,
Shout out to
Sean.
Sean.
Hey, Shawnee.
Absolutely special day. We went and had lunch at Golden Hoosier, and overall, just good vibes, great vibes today. But what else are we celebrating on June 4th, Tony?
June 4th, National Cheese Day. I think I was telling you
Hey, I
fellas
do like that.
earlier.
Hold on, before we, Brady, what is your
Favorite cheese?
favorite cheese?
Ah, man, that's such a tough one.
We could have did that for.
I'm a brie boy.
gosh.
Brie.
I'm a big
Brie
brie boy. I like that
Okay.
funk.
Like, if you're picking one cheese to outrule them all, you're just going straight up to brie, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna spread it on toast, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a
Hell yeah.
it's a utilitarian cheese. I think you can do a lot with some brie.
I mean, I get that.
That said, if you guys haven't had Trader Joe's unexpected cheddar spread, brother,
Trader
Well,
Joe's
I'm-
on some good shit.
they are.
I haven't had anything that I got from Trader Joe's that I was like yuck face DeAndre Jordan. That it's all It's all good. I really like the frozen chocolate covered bananas that I've gotten from Trader Joe's. Those are a move. Those are feels like not as naughty of a snack, you know. But Bob, your favorite cheese?
I'm kind of caught in the middle. I love me some solid cheddar, all sorts of different types of cheddar, but I do also like a good mozzarella.
Moots?
Like a lot of different
Little moots,
mozzarella, the fresh mozzarella.
How do you feel about burrata? Are you a big burrata boy since you like the moots? Or
I haven't had as much experience.
gotcha,
He's not a big salad guy.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll have a salad, but not a lot of salads.
gotcha.
Mostly Caesar.
I like it.
Caesar, pervert or Italian?
Yeah. Definitely yes.
Roped it in.
Yeah, okay.
Today is also global.
Hold on.
Okay,
I mean,
we're
we
still
got the mixed
cheesing?
cheese,
Sorry,
yeah.
yes, hey, I don't want to cut cheese talk short. I get it.
My favorite cheese is definitely a Vermont white sharp cheddar.
Oh shoot!
I love me a nice Vermont white cheddar. But I mean, gosh, there's so many cheeses. But if I'm going burger though, like the melted American cheese is, I think, the standard.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's got to be.
For burger, for sure.
if I'm going burger, it is the American melted.
Is that just because that's our experience? Like,
No, because like for a while, because I love sharp cheddar and I love pepper jack, I would get that, and then after a while, I was like, American.
I will
just,
say Monterey Jack is solid on a burger, but it doesn't compare. Like the American, the processed pasteurized American cheese is it's perfect.
just a craft single.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it is the best. But okay, sorry, I just wanted to get my cheese out there, and we'll throw
yeah,
it.
no.
Vermont.
You don't need to apologize. I was the one cutting off the cheese take. So let's see. I was also, when we were thinking about cheese, I know cheese, like, it's kind of become something that upsets a lot of stomachs later on in life. And there's like a lot of other things that, you eat knowing, all right, I'm going to feel like dog shit after I eat this, right? What's the one thing that you're like, I definitely got to eat this. I know I'm going to feel like shit later. I know it could be ice cream for some.
Mine's easy.
Yeah.
Well,
then go ahead,
you-
Dave. You first.
Yeah. Take it away.
My stomach gets absolutely fucked. Every every time I eat pizza, but I will never stop eating pizza. The juice is always worth the squeeze.
Absolutely.
Is it the cheese?
I don't think it is because I eat like
It's just those combinations.
I buy like it's made by Cabot. Mm-hmm. It's just like the sticks of the seriously sharp white Vermont cheddar, as the aforementioned, and I eat those, and nothing happens in my stomach. Something with the pizza, I can't figure it out.
It's the cheese and the meats and the sauces and the bread.
Bubble guts every time,
Man, yeah, I feel.
but you can't stop, won't stop.
Knock on wood. I'm not like that with the pizza quite yet.
Anything for you that's so good that you will not stop eating, even though you always tears your stomach
Oddly
up?
enough, and this is for Megan too, my wife. When we're like feeling like constipated or whatever, we will go to the store and we will grab a bag of the cheddar and sour cream Ruffles and some French onion dip, and without fail,
Dang.
like within hour, like it's
Cleans
done.
it up.
Yeah, we're
And
done.
that's
We're
a
good.
clean move,
Yeah.
too.
Bro, we were talking.
That's
that was,
elite.
That was one of the chips that got picked for Mount Rushmore for sure.
Fantastic.
It was a
shit.
1-1.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got lucky on that one.
you did.
It would have been mine 1-1, too. But with the French onion dip,
Next level for sure.
Tears us up, but worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's got one of those things. They're like, I just don't even care that this is gonna do bad things to me. It's too good.
Now, like, and then I got my next tier of like White Castle, Taco Bell is like, I know what it's going to do to me, but not every time I'm down for it. Like pizza every time.
Yeah.
Like Taco Bell, White Castle, I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood for this,
chance.
even though I know it's going to happen.
Right now, pizza would have been on that level for me. Like it's a hit or miss with pizza for sure.
Oh, really? Yeah.
All right, so also,
What about you? What do you got?
Yeah.
well, I'm pretty honestly lucky. Like my stomach
Pretty
doesn't get BGs a lot, but it's usually
constitutionally-
the cheese. Like if I have
Yeah.
a lot of cheese, like if I'm eating mac and cheese one night and then I get pizza the next day,
Ooh.
like it's coming right out of me quick, but it's not like super aggressive.
It doesn't hit you in the gut.
It's not deterred me quite yet.
There you go.
And there's nothing that I can constantly point to and be like, yeah, that fucks me up every single time.
Hell yeah.
And cheese is also so good because like you melt it and it just goes to new levels.
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Like,
Trust me,
is there
bro.
any other food that's profile changes so drastically?
Ice.
Like, no, but what I'm saying, like,
Scientifically.
the flavor. I mean, not the flavor, but it's like, melted cheese is just phenomenal.
Yeah, no,
It takes everything up a notch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I do love me some cheese. I'm glad we got to do this on National Cheese Day and have a
Agreed.
little cheese discussion. It's probably one of my top food groups. I think I have cheese most days. Like with a meal, there's something cheese involved with something in the meal.
Yeah, me and my ex used to always quote the Tyler Creator. He was like, I love cheese. I love cheese. I love cheese. And at one point, I wanted to get that tattooed on me. That mean, cheese is just... So National Cheese Day is, I will say, in the top 5 of national days.
It's a banger of a national day. We should always have it. Yeah, it makes sense to have a day for this. I'm down with it. So kind of on the other end of the spectrum from National Cheese Day is Global Running Day.
Oh, fuck that.
You guys get out and run for fun very often?
I go in running spurts for sure, but it takes me a while to get there. It's like I have to be running for like a month and a half before I start looking forward to it. So no.
I'm not into it. Yeah, I'm not so much into the running. I will run, I guess, if it's for sport.
Yeah, right. I'll run all day if it's for a sport.
Like I'll jog after a soccer ball here or there, or whatever. But I'm not running for a race, and I'm not running for health.
Yeah, I will say previously I would have ran all day for a sport, but not now. That's out of the fucking picture now, brother.
It's also International Corgi Day. We all knew Dan Bryhan. He had a corgi. That
Known
corgi's
pervert.
name was Hobbs. You just said known pervert? Is that what I just heard over there?
Well,
The Peanut Gallery.
we'll get there later.
Daniel Bryan was a known
pervert.
Well, by proxy. You said.
I said.
Well, you said he'd be in for the shenanigans that we're going to get into later.
Yeah, you did say that.
It was more of like I didn't say that was a for sure thing.
But,
I mean, it
you
was an
alluded to
educated guess.
It was unprompted. Dan Bryan name drop.
Jeez Louise.
Right?
Yeah.
Corgi.
Hot take, I don't fucking like corgis, man.
Wow.
I feel like they got blew up too much. I feel like there's other dogs that deserve just as much attention as corgis.
I agree. I do agree.
I agree.
I'll put this in the D tier.
Corgis.
Well, this National Day, so yeah, corgis by association. I'm not a big corgi guy either.
Corgis are D tier.
And I'm not a big Dan Bryan guy.
No, I don't. Hey, that's all right.
Is that the dude you used to live with?
That's correct.
Yeah, he told me and Matt we couldn't come in because his accounting friends
Oh, yeah, I
were over.
didn't fuck with that dude. Yeah, I didn't like that dude at all. I don't like a lot of your friends, oddly enough. Shout out to John. I'm sorry. My bad, bruh.
He listens every Friday.
I know. I wanted to say that publicly. Maybe
That's
I was
all
off a little bit of alcohol. I might have come in too strong.
He'll hear that
I
Friday.
hope all is well.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, and John comes from a good place. He wants nothing but to be your friend. So.
I did tell John Brady that you said that you're more open-minded to knowing that people grow up and things. So I did just tell him that. But he'll be hearing this couple days from now.
Lord knows. Lord knows.
Any more national days?
Oh, yeah. National Christian T-shirt Day.
No, get that out of here. Get that out of here.
Declare your faith and wear it on a T-shirt. How do you like that one?
I feel like that's antithetical to the Bible and Jesus' teachings, but
Also, National Cognac Day.
Cognac.
banana cognac.
That's what, dude. Oh my God, that's what we should have got, bro. And then what we had the last time you were here, it was like a banana rum.
No, he had that nice
bamboo,
rum.
baby.
That was phenomenal.
Bamboo, that's it.
How have I not gotten that since you left? It's phenomenal.
It's really good.
It
Like
is
probably
similar.
my top liquor at this point in time.
It might,
like,
and I haven't had it since then because I just completely forgot. Like,
fucking good.
I might leave here and buy a bottle.
There you go.
All right.
Well, say it again, please. For the people.
Bamboo.
Bamboo.
Brought to you by Wheezy F Baby.
Wheezy.
Dude.
You can do it now. You're here. I was trying to copy you doing Lil Wayne last week.
It is every day's National Lil Wayne Day.
Yeah. They don't recognize it officially because it is every day, so it would be a little redundant to just say
be.
today is Lil Wayne Day when we know it's every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll end on this National Day, and it kind of helps me go into a story that I was going to tell you guys that I didn't tell you earlier, but it's pretty entertaining.
Whoa.
So
Hey.
today, June 4th, is also National Hug Your Cat Day. Like, your feline friend. I think, Nick, you grew up with having cats. Brady, you have cats.
No, I love.
currently?
I'm actually a cat guy over dogs, which is another hot take. but
Take. That's the hottest of
they
takes.
just
Brady's
take
got a
care
cat
of
story.
themselves, dude. They just fucking chill.
Yeah, I mean, cats definitely are an animal out for themselves.
Yeah.
100%.
I like that about them.
And that's
They don't need me.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And that's cool. I agree.
Pretty
Because
cool.
like I can fill up that bowl, fill up that water,
Right.
make sure they got fresh litter, and like they're good to go
They're
for
cool.
48 hours at least.
Absolutely.
They are cool. I mean, it's what you say. It's a cool cat.
Yeah.
That's a cool
I mean, it's a thing. But what's your story? Because then I also wanted to prompt Brady's story that he told at brunch last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's good. We'll circle around. So National Hug Your Cat Day. So fellas, we have a black cat, Pip, little black cat,
Pip pip hooray.
Pip Pip hooray. So every once in a while, every few weeks or once a month or so, he'll get a little hair up his ass, and he just decides to scurry out the door, like as you're coming in or whatever. Like you open up the door, and he's like, "Pew," and he like wants to walk outside,
Yeah.
and usually he just like walks out and kind of just chills like right by the door. And it's not a big deal. So the other night, it's like 11:15. I'm going out on the back porch just to get a little fresh air before going to bed, and so I'm going out there and I'm on the back porch and I like look over to our fence. We have like a wooden fence, and on one of the fence posts I see a black cat, looks just like Pip. No collar, nothing. Like Pip doesn't have a collar because he's an inside cat, and we don't think about it. I'm like, oh shit, Pip got out. Like that. I guess he snuck around me in the door. Like that fucking happens. And so I go over to the fence. Like I start walking over towards the fence where he's at. This cat's at. And as I'm getting to the fence, Penny, the dog, she's like following me up, and he sees the Penny and jumps into the neighbor's yard. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna go back. I'll sit. He'll jump back up. So I go back up on the porch. I'm sitting there for 10, 15 more minutes. 11:30 or whatever, and then I see him. He like jumps up on the fence again, up on the backside. I'm like, oh shit, there he is. And I like start to go out slow. I put the dog inside by this point so that she couldn't, spook him or whatever. So I put him back out. I put the dog in, and I go down, and I'm trying to get him again, and then boom, jumps down into the neighbor's yard again. I said, son of a bitch. And at this point, I'm like, shit. And like I waited for another 10, 15 minutes. I hadn't seen him, and I'm like, I gotta go in, get a flashlight. So I come inside, and I just kind of peek around. I look in all the usual spots where he would be if he's in the house, and he's not here. I'm like, yeah, all right, I guess he's outside. So I'm grabbing a flashlight, and I'm like looking around, kind of like in the neighbor's yard. It's like midnight now at this point. I'm like, and I don't see him anywhere, like in any of the surrounding yards, because I like stepped up on a step stool to look over the fence and like down into the back of the neighbor's yard instead. I'm like, son of a bitch, this fucking cat. So I go back and I'm sitting just on the porch for like 45 more minutes, just waiting, and still nothing. I'm like, all right. So I get it and I like go walk around the block, can't find him, see nothing. Go back, sit on the porch, wait more. I am waiting till 2 a.m.
Oh, no.
I was sat out on the back porch till 2 a.m. because I'm like, I don't just want this cat sitting outside all night. Like, he's got all his claws. I'm sure he'd be able to take care of himself, but like, he's not an outside cat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fucking, I'm falling asleep here on this porch. I gotta just go in, go to bed, deal with it in the morning. I left the gate open to the fence so like he could get in easy and stuff. And then I come inside, I look across the way, and here's fucking Pip staring at me in the face. Some other black cat put me through the whole ordeal. I was pissed. And then Pip, asshole he was, hitting on me when I came in the house the first time. If he was just in one of his normal spots, it'd have been no problem. But he's like, he was outside for a few hours. I think
You were just around chasing this stray black cat.
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
yes. And I mean, this cat had the same mannerisms as Pip, and a lot of black cats look similar, like legit. Oh. So that was the case. And so yeah, I went to bed late the other night because I was chasing a cat that wasn't mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. Pretty fun. So National Hug Your Cat Day. Don't go out
Don't go
and hug random neighborhood cats.
And Brady was chasing around a cat for a while too.
Actually, last week might have been the same time. But when we were out in Vegas, we had our cat inside, black cat also. And I always told Megan, if we ever got another cat, I'd want a white one. That's the only way I'd ever get another cat. So lo and behold, she goes outside, walks the dog one night, and finds a white cat that she claims followed her up into the house. We'll let that be the story. But it was a little white kitten, and it's cute as hell. So whatever. We got a little white kitten now, and then we move home.
You're the cat guy.
Yeah, move home. Been in the house probably a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at this point. We've only been back for like 3, so about that amount of time. we come back late one Saturday night, trying out Dungeons and Dragons the first time, my buddy's house. And we come back home. It's like 2 a.m, and we can't find this guy anywhere. We went and taken out the trash and all that, so I'm like, he must have slipped outside.
It's always amazing when cats escape at the middle of the night.
So we're out like shaking treats, running around. Megan stayed up until who knows how late. I went to bed. I was just like, I'm not dealing with this right now.
I left that out of mine too. I was shaking treats as I was walking around the block.
I was like, we'll see this man when he gets home. He'll go out and do his thing. He'll be back. Cats always come back. That's why
They
I like
always come back.
But this cat didn't come back. I got up at like 6 a.m. I walked the block, like shaking treats, doing the whole thing. Never saw him.
Do you think that there was like a neighbor swoopage situation?
See, that was what I was thinking. I was like, I bet a neighbor got him. So Megan ends up posting it on like the town Facebook, because you can do that when you live in a small town. She posted on the little Facebook thing like, hey, we're missing this cat. Post a couple pictures of him.
Yeah.
We don't think anything of it. She starts getting some comments. People haven't seen him, but they're like, did you know that is a flame point Siamese cat?
Oh, my gosh.
And they're like, what the fuck even is that? So Megan looks it up, and it's like one of the most rare cat breeds on the planet that just so happened to fall into our lap.
Isn't that crazy?
We immediately got his nuts clipped upon bringing him in the house, right? Because I don't want a cat ramped up pissing on all my stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, could have had like $500 kittens to $4,000 in some cases. And it turns out this little sumbitch was in the basement the whole time.
Oh,
he was in the basement the whole time. Yeah. Got him.
There you go.
But we did find out that we've got a rare
good
breed of cat that I wish I could unclip his nuts.
Yeah. You could go do the snip snap like Michael Scott.
Right,
you can reverse with the humans. Can they do
that with cats? I'm going to have to find out. Yeah. Got to put this back together.
Whatever they unfuse.
I think for cats, they just like get rid of them, right? They're just yoink.
I guess.
I don't know.
I haven't looked into it.
I'm not fully up on cat anatomy like that.
I think Bob Barker knows.
Bob Barker knows.
Yeah, get your pets.
The price is right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He knows all about if they take cats' nuts.
Well, all this pussy talk has.
All this pussy talk. Whoa.
It has me.
Who loves talking about pussy?
Yeah. I know.
We are taking a transition.
Yes, transition.
To most recent events.
Yeah.
This is why Hatch sponsors us.
This is it.
This is why. For breaking information.
So, have you ever had a friend that you haven't seen for 15 years since high school reach out to you on Facebook? Have you? Brady?
I mean, I haven't.
That ever happened to you?
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Has that ever happened to you, Bob?
It has, as a matter of fact. It has.
Well, in this case,
yes.
I also know this guy, but I was involved, but not directly. So, turns out you don't need Kendrick and SZA for entertainment.
You really don't.
Because we were at dinner tonight. We were waiting for these prices to go down, which never happened, but it's okay because we were thoroughly entertained.
The universe gifted us instead.
Bob gets a message like through dinner and decides.
We basically put the name out there, but I don't know.
I'm going to say it.
Specific with names?
Yes.
He said yes.
Because it goes in with the pun that part of this. So Bob's like, dude, he's like, Kyle Portwood messaged me earlier today. Now I have all these texts on my phone, so we're going to go through this story, right?
Yeah,
Xavier's going to guide us through this because Xavier also helped guide this situation. So
now we graduated in 2011.
That's correct.
I don't think you've talked to Kyle much since, right?
I think that most we got together to do like tennis or basketball the year after graduation.
So 2012.
Yeah, basically.
So 13 years ago.
Yep.
And Kyle, I have not seen Kyle Portwood since we graduated.
Since Lord knows when.
So Bob gets a message from Kyle that he shared with us. And Kyle's message was at 3:45 a.m. to Bob. But Kyle's in Spain,
right?
So that was what 7 o'clock.
It's probably early morning in Spain. If I
he was in the
trying to math.
He was in the Air Force, and that's where he.
It's always the Air Force guys. I tell you, they are the worst,
brother.
He said it is always the Air Force guys.
You already know. I
can confirm.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've had weird Air Force dudes. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't stand them.
Yeah, Alan was an Air Force guy.
Shout out to my homie Cameron, though, and my dad. Both good, solid dudes from the Air Force.
Oh, okay. But Kyle, maybe a solid guy. Well, he is solid.
He's super solid. Rock solid.
So Kyle says, long time no see. Haha. What you up to, man? Which, haha, already.
That's opening it up with a strange vibe.
Bob doesn't respond. 7:03 p.m. This is when we're at dinner. He texts Bob again. You ever talk to any girls from DB? Haha.
DB being our high school.
Yes. So I was like, well, we are going to have some fun with this.
We gotta see where this
And
goes.
all the messages you're about to hear from Bob's end were not even ghost written, ghost sent.
Yeah.
And written by me. So Bob he did not partake in this. All right. I want to get that on there for record.
The record. It's just surprising you're going to go message for messages, but I guess you got to do what you got to do.
We have to, right?
I feel like you got to.
You can't cliff note this.
I tried to send a cliff note text to my wife, and it just wasn't working without the images. Like it wasn't hitting the way it needed to hit.
So Kyle from Spain also was engaged in November of 2024, and that's why he's in Spain for this Spaniard. I take it.
Yeah, I suppose. Only information I ever knew about
Spain
Kyle was through regular social media postings.
Is that what you would call a woman from Spain? A Spaniette?
Spaniette.
It sounds
Spanietta.
like a dog breed. It's terrible.
So she said, he says, do you ever talk to any girls from DB? Haha.
Haha.
Bob replies,
Bob.
LOL. Not as often as I'd like to. Ha ha ha.
Jesus.
How about you?
Just engaging the conversation.
He says, ha ha. I had my endeavors. I wish I had more. Ha ha. He then says, still no reply yet from us.
Yeah, there was a lot of back-to-back.
Used to fuck around with blank blank randomly. Ha ha. Younger, but prime. Oh.
He said, oh.
Is there a new message?
No, I was making sure. Younger but prime. What about you? And then he also says blank blank, of course. Still no reply. Oh.
So we're obviously like enraptured at this point. Like we've got to push this.
This man is
Nick just Bob replies, Nick just ran into blank blank. She could still pay $95 on the corner.
You were throwing some curveball messages out there. Just
he said, haha, wait, what?
Yeah,
we should have tag teamed some bitches back in the day, LOL.
You were really confusing this guy, but he was just wanting to talk about tag teaming bitches.
He said, we should have tag teamed some bitches back in the day, LOL.
Just absurd. This man and I have not talked in years, and we never talked like this. It's not like we ever had conversations.
Like you were back in...
Like this never happened before. We have never had these kind of conversations.
Now, at this point, I threw out a couple names just to see where his head's at. He said, ooh, he should... I'm going to skip that part.
Yeah,
redacted.
I did say this, though, because I was trying to see how perverted this guy was.
How far?
I said, there are some... I said, there are some seniors there now that could get it, to be honest.
Oh, no, just not. Yeah, you were really engaging this guy's dark side.
He said, I haven't been back in ages. I love the younger gals. 22 is prime.
I just like the subtle shift from ha-has to LOLs, too.
Yeah.
He really got in there. He's feeling comfortable.
Everything's sarcastic. Ha-ha.
We said... this was not me, by the way. LOL, I'm playing. Those were the times. 22 is prime, though. Sweaty, smiley face. He said, this is really uncomfortable, and I'm sorry, Mom. Kyle says, still young and fresh. You could try out the long D, haha. Keep in mind, Bob has not talked to this dude for 13 years.
Since high school.
For so many years. And again, we've never had conversations that were anywhere like this.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you guys were like tight by any stretch.
No, not at all.
Kyle says, haha,
We weren't like not.
we would destroy some chicks. Double team these hoes. This is at 3 a.m. in Spain.
In his time, yeah.
Yeah, this man is just razzed up and looking for some engagement, and Nick is giving him some.
I think he's looking for something else, but that's my thing.
He's looking for pics.
He said,
you.
he then says, they aren't used to the American size. Now let's break that down real
Yeah, we
quick.
got to talk
break
about this.
That down.
Now, the American size, that can mean so many things because America is a melting pot. We come from all different backgrounds.
Like, we're not talking about going to the QT and getting a 44-ounce soda. Like, no, they're probably not used to that.
Yeah. But anyways, he must be happy. Well, we're good there. We reply, hell yeah, man.
We give him so many vague messages and he just kept coming back.
Oh yeah, because now we're about to go on 9 messages in a row from him.
Just 9 messages.
You need to come out here. Show them what you got, haha. I heard I heard stories you were packing too, haha.
Boy.
We'd leave these girls limping. Was this you that said this?
What?
Release the Kraken?
Just non sequiturs, brother.
Okay, so we did jump in and said, release the Kraken. He said, ha ha ha. I was just watching my vids of these hoes.
This man is just fishing.
Hoes.
He said, F the girl from China the other day. Tried to break her. Tongue out emoji.
He's supposed to be engaged.
And then, I mean, he's what, 33?
Here it comes.
I guess. Yeah, 32.
You know,
33.
whatever.
Okay.
He said, okay, here it comes. Jesus.
Oh, we said, well, this is Bob. He says, LOL, man, the world tour. And then I jump back in. I said, if we double team, are we touching each other or no? tongue out emoji. And then here we go.
It's been a lot of here we goes.
Unsolicited D-pic of Kyle.
Jesus.
Just right there.
He said just right there.
Shout out Fabrizio Romano also for the Here We Goes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. This is wild work. This man hasn't talked to me in 13 years, and then all of a sudden is just getting balls deep into...
This is all within 10 minutes also. This isn't like a prolonged conversation. Like, this went from 0 to 100
I replied
immediately.
To this, I replied to this picture, said, is that you?
Yeah, like, I didn't ask for pics. This man's just sending pics along.
Yeah. He said, yup, I was super hard.
Jesus. Yeah, buddy, the photo's there.
My reply,
We saw it.
I said, tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
That's... I said,
Dropping heat.
I said, tell me about it. That's bar exam hard. You really put the wood in Portwood.
Oh, my God.
Are you... I said, are you engaged or no? He ignores us.
Completely.
Yeah, glosses right by it.
Sidestep.
And then I said, this is Bob's wife. Are you Kyle? This is crazy. And then I said, just kidding. This is Bob. I was just testing you.
You're just playing games.
I said, to answer your question, I'm probably around 8.5.
Jesus.
He's then now asking Bob for videos and pictures.
Basically.
He said, did your wife see this? I said, yeah. She said, it's not as big as mine, but I'm a one-woman kind of guy. He said, haha, fair.
Haha. So much haha. Haha.
And basically, at this point, like, you guys just have the picture.
I mean, we had
They don't
several
have
more
the
pictures.
picture.
There was 2 more
we
pictures
got-
sent by him.
Jesus. Yeah, very much. And this last one was just left on red. I do not wish to engage any further. Very confused how it made that turn so quick, and how there's just so much openness to this guy's sharing. Jesus,
It's the top 5 funniest things.
Easily, yeah.
it's a top 5 funniest.
I mean, I can't imagine. Like, I would already be like, why is,
That was my initial response when you messaged me at first. I'm like, why is Kyle Portwood messaging me like he's engaged, living in Europe? What does this man need to talk to me about? With like a simple, "What's up? How are you?" or whatever. I'm like, good, I guess. I was telling you guys at first, I thought maybe it was like somebody was a hacked account like at first, but then it took such a sudden turn to having
Yeah,
like
there's no
personal
way,
details.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, obviously not a hack. I'm like, maybe it's like his fiance fishing for like old stories about him, but then no, very much specific information that he had to have had.
I mean, this dude,
and
all time pervert.
Yeah, this is
all
top
time.
tier. This is, yeah.
Just like insane behavior, searching for something when he's horned out. It has to be. Just
Bob,
like,
I'm telling you, he wants to see your dick specifically.
Yeah,
That's what
I
he
guess.
wants out of this.
I guess.
He's asked Bob like 9 or 10 different times now
Easily, like, send a
for
picture.
back.
Send a picture. I want to see it.
Basically, dude. And he wanted one like instantaneously and said, "I'm bored after that."
Yeah, he was like demanding you to,
It's
yeah.
like, dude, what? No.
But then when I asked if there'd be touching, he said, no, our balls will not be touching. And I said, and so my response was, oh, I'm the gay one now? Like, you hit me up asking for pictures of my dick and I'm the weird one?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Couldn't have happened at a more convenient time, I'll tell you that, with us being just grabbing some dinner.
Yeah.
My ribs were hurting, brother.
Man, my face hurt.
I mean, it's just insane
And we're
work.
just sitting in there having this full-blown conversation in a restaurant also.
And again, yeah, and I'm sorry, like my mom and other, women listen to this podcast,
Right.
and I'm sorry you had to hear that, but we have a
There's
podcast.
no way to,
We have a responsibility to share breaking information from our lives with the
Yeah.
audience. And this is an odd occurrence that doesn't happen every day.
If you have to rank moments in your life that are odd and unexpected, is this top 10?
Oh, top 10 for sure. It gets a little more murky if you think like top 5, because I'd have to like really sit and think.
ponder on it.
Yeah, I do, a lot of blacking out of things.
Jesus.
In 10 years, what night will be more memorable? This because of this story, or
Oh,
your
that's
ex
with the Kendrick.
kicking your windshield out?
Oh,
Oof, that's a tough one.
that'll probably still be higher.
Yeah, that was a
Not
big
for
one.
me.
Well, sure, you weren't there.
Even if I was there.
How can you say that?
Because this dude messaged you from Spain hasn't
At
seen you in
3
13
in the morning.
sends you unsolicited
true.
D pics,
Yes.
ask for
Multiples.
ask for solicited pics from you,
Yeah,
I mean,
me
at least
unsolicited,
yeah.
and solicited some in return.
and you wouldn't even say this is like one of your top 10 friends from school, would you?
No, he probably wasn't even like a top 10 friend from high school. No, not at all. Definitely
Just
bizarre.
wild work.
Bizarre behavior.
Like I had a mutual friend with him who's since passed, Brendan Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't even think Brendan was that close with him.
Yeah, I think the closer that people got to him, the more that his weird personality reared its head, and so it felt like, because I know that he worked through some girlfriends at some time. Like, wasn't he weird towards Hannah Schwartz? Whenever didn't he go out with her for a minute? Wasn't that?
Did he?
I think he was weird
We're
about
trying not
her.
to name drop these
Yeah,
girls,
dox this
Bob.
woman.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Didn't you
all right.
notice? Like,
Nobody else was name dropped because they were mentioned by him. I'm just saying this is old times. If he
I mean, he's just doxing. These girls are associated with him that probably don't want anything to
Right, I
do.
have no, yeah. They're like,
Well,
I
if you
haven't-
look at high school yearbook, both names are going to be in there. So
Yeah, people are
You're
going to put that
gonna be
together.
associated, whether you like it or not.
string map out, dude. It's there. Hell it did.
They're not even in the same grade. She was a junior when we were seniors. Bob's like, people would all
Like,
assume.
people know.
I'm just trying to make the point that I think that this behavior was known by some folks that were closer to him back in
This
high school.
behavior?
I was gonna
guess
say
it's
this feels.
maybe not perverted behavior, but abnormal.
He get obsessive.
aggressive or something. Maybe even
I mean, it's something.
it's something. It is
So-
something.
Is he Bob pervert or Italian?
Both,
Both.
but probably more pervert.
Next level.
Horned up, perv dog.
I mean, it's just banana lands. It's all I've been thinking about for 2
Yeah,
hours.
I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Yeah,
We kind of waffled on whether or not we were going to talk about it tonight. Like, there's no way we can't.
it's
No.
just too fresh.
I couldn't get through the podcast
Yeah.
without mentioning it.
Yeah. It's like nothing else we talked about you could focus on until this got out.
Absolutely not.
Now, and
I
I
completely
Who
forgot
gives a
that
shit?
Pistol
I'll
Pete
send
was
dick
number
pics.
44. Like, slipped my mind.
I know, dude.
There was a lot of great 44s that we
were.
didn't mention.
It's nuts.
You want to hear some? Reggie
I
Jackson.
mean, yeah, bring them up.
Oh yeah.
Jim Brown.
Shit, yeah.
Gaylord Perry.
Ha.
He's a Gordie Howe.
Hold on,
Big Gord.
real quick.
All right.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Johnny Cash has a song called "A Boy Named Sue." And the whole premise is, the dad named him Sue so he'd get bullied and get toughened up. The dude who named Gaylord, he was coming off
Yeah,
the
he was
top
coming-
rope.
yeah.
He's coming off the top rope.
Gaylord?
He hit him with the
Gaylord,
finisher.
he kind of had the same move like Edison. You were saying nobody was first named Edison, but it was his last name to start, and then people started using it as first name. Gaylord, last name to start, and then it became.
There's no
first name.
Gaylords out there.
That was a surname. Yeah, it was a last name first. I bet.
Can you imagine just having to go through middle school
Gaylord.
named Gaylord? Like kids are so mean.
Tough, dude.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
You were not naming your kid that.
Dude, my name was Brady in middle school, and it was fucking relentless. I'm like, yeah, I get it, Brady Bunch, cool, got it. Like, Gaylord would have been nasty work.
Damn. That just made me think of that, though.
Yeah.
A boy named Sue, a boy named Gaylord.
Yeah. Well, talking about growing up, I had something that I thought about this week. I did want to bring up to you guys about growing up. So I know in my house, like, there was an obvious chair hierarchy or spot on the couch hierarchy.
Oh.
Is this your guys' experience as well?
You know my dad.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know mine too. So I'm saying, and then like even people's house that you'd go to often, you became aware of their couch hierarchy situation. Like, you know, you might all be on the couch, and then usually it was the dad.
Dad walks in,
and then everybody shifts. You know, you move out of their spot, and everybody else figures out where to go.
I do think the older I get, and you know, I don't have kids or anything, but like I do have my preferred spot.
Oh, we have a house. We do in our house.
And,
for sure.
Yes, and like sometimes when I get up and the dog hops in there, I look at him like, are you out your rabbit ass mind?
Yeah, I can't say that there's any spot hierarchy in this house necessarily. I don't have like a favorite spot. It depends on what I'm doing. If we're sitting watching a movie, I might sit up at the counter sometimes. I might sit down on the couch sometimes. I might lay down on the other side of the couch sometimes. It just it all depends.
Death to the patriarchy, head ass boy.
So both of my parents, like my parents were divorced, so both houses were like that. Like we didn't really have one, but my grandparents' houses on both sides, crazy. Like,
oh yeah, I think grandparents' houses
big,
especially
big
like
grandpops and grandma, or just grandpops.
Did you also have like seat hierarchy memorized for table
dinner?
gatherings,
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
like dinners? You know, like if you got together with the extended family for like a big dinner on a holiday, it was known. You know, grandpa's sitting down at the end, and then right next to him is whoever, like, you know, your dad or whoever the next in line would be, an uncle or something. I don't know.
We were never super close with my dad's family. My stepmom's family is basically my dad's family, and it was like a huge family. Like, I want to say it's like 9 kids, and so like kids just went to the basement. It wasn't even negotiable. It was like kids in the basement, adults are up here eating.
Yeah. There definitely Thanksgiving. There's like my grandparents is like the kids table and like the big adult table. And Billy definitely had to sit at the kids table like after
for extra long.
Yeah, which is kind of effed up because younger people and even more immature people than him got promoted to the adult table.
That's tough.
He was still in relegation.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, that goes with it. Like, growing up.
Maybe it's not Billy's fault. Maybe it was just all pressure that was put on him.
It was all a dream.
He had to be pushed.
He used to read Word Up magazine. My parents always had the end caps. My dad, like, you know, even at the dinner table, but he is also just extremely OCD. Like, you sit in the whole universe.
Yeah, it's just thrown.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so, you know, that was all our experience growing up. How often do you think in a house these days that's enforced are like, you know, imagine you're at, let's just say you're observing this play out at somebody's house. You're at a graduation party or something, and everybody's sitting down at the table. Or no, let's just say everybody's gathered around to watch some sort of thing on the TV. Everybody's at this thing, and like some little niece or nephew sits down on you know, dad's spot on the couch. Dad comes in the room and says, "Whoa, little one, you got to move. This is my spot." What's the mom do? Does the mom say, "Yep, you got to move, little one," or does the mom say, "No, she was here first"?
The mom says, "You got to move, little one." What the hell?
Yeah, what are you
saying?
thinking, boy?
I feel like we kind of maybe live in a time where the mom's going to say, "Well, no, Dad, Nancy was here first."
Hell no.
Nah, I think like with
maybe
us,
that's just me thinking that happens more often than not. The people bow to the kids these days more often.
No, we've definitely got the seating hierarchy on the couch, but like it's in the house. Like if somebody else came to the house, they could sit wherever the hell they want. I don't give a shit. But like in our house,
nobody's going to be like, "Oh, don't sit there. That's Dad's spot."
Fuck up. What are you doing?
But like if somebody new comes over, it's just if Nick was over at my house and my dad came home and he was in the spot, he'd get the hell out of my spot. But like you wouldn't.
But you guys grew up together, yeah.
But I'd already be
you
getting
wouldn't
up.
do that to one of your kids' friends,
Right now, I'd let him sit wherever.
I would probably word it less like direct,
Aggressively.
Delicate, yeah.
But I still be like,
Hey,
yeah.
I get that. I mean, that's rubbed off on me because I did that. Not like a seat thing when Adrian had friends over, but I was like, "Hey, you've had enough sodas."
you know, that's fair
put
though.
The kibosh on the sodas.
Yeah, but that's when Bob thought caffeine was in Sprite.
Well, I was using it as a ploy to just cut down the soda.
Yeah, that's what it was. Dude, you really think right now, like, you go to somebody's house and mom's going to have the kids back over the dad's? Hell no.
It really kind of can depend on the situation, I think, dude. Like, I think there's some people that really just act like their kid is as deserving of anything as anybody else.
No, kids shouldn't be running the household. It sets a bad precedent.
It does, I agree, but we live in trying times.
We try to treat Brooke as like an equal. I think we always have. And
Yeah.
that maybe has bit us in the ass a couple times because she gets a little familiar sometimes. But like, generally speaking, she knows what time it is on the couch.
I like that expression.
She knows on the couch.
We'll start using that
Nah,
more.
brother.
You know, it's
Hey, you're acting real familiar.
yeah, you know, don't you get too comfortable now.
Take it easy there.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Little
there's
too much dip on your
there's
chip.
there definitely should be a good like middle ground between, I guess, like where you're saying we are now as a society and where we were. You know what I mean? It seems like Brady kind of has
Rules
that
should
going.
be enforced, and there should be societal norms of respecting your elders. But also, you don't have to treat kids
Yeah,
like
like
shit.
there's a middle ground there.
You can, put them in their place without being mean to them.
Yeah.
I guess
I feel like I had a pretty good middle ground growing up. Like
yeah.
my parents respected me, but I wasn't like you had definitely a pretty harsh.
Yeah,
Fair?
mostly. Yeah, at times, but not all the time. You know, I took a village. I had a village for sure.
It does. It does take
For
me.
sure.
It does. All right. Anything fun happened at the Rosalitas this week, Xavier?
Well, let me see. That's now in this position I'm in.
With all
He's
this
like,
clout
Right?
from this banging podcast with all of our.
Well, yeah, I know, but you never know what could happen if people,
Well,
it's
yeah.
not for where we are now, but it's like what happens. Like, I'm not saying that
Pretty
we're
sure
ever
our
going
whole
to
middle segment of this episode will probably go viral. Everybody's very curious to hear the tales of Mr.
Okay, we have this new,
and his penis.
I'm now a manager at Rosalitas, and at the same time, we hired we outsourced a new manager, and this guy, Chris, just gets
Outside
on
hire.
my last damn nerve. I need like Tylenol, bro. He tries so hard to fit in. It's like, when you're like a kid
He's a try-hard.
going to a new school is like
you wanna
doesn't
be
know
like-
anybody, so he tries really hard to be accepted, but it's like having the opposite effect.
Corey Bear-ass, dude.
That's like that is him, but he's a gay man.
Dropping more full names.
Yeah,
Government name.
he's a gay man, and I know it's Pride Month, and I'm an ally, but he like tells everybody that's like his personality, and he used to be married to a woman 7 years ago. But he goes like, I think sometimes he over exaggerates stories or makes them up, like just to try to get some laughs or approval. And recently he's like, yeah, I just came across a table who told me they were going to pray for my gayness away. And it's like, why are you interacting with your table and like talking about your
why do they
sexual
need to know
orientation?
about your? Yeah, that's why.
Like that was wild to me. And like, that's just like, I don't know.
You know who else would probably talk to their table about their sexuality? Kyle Portwood.
He definitely would.
Kyle would probably
Solicit.
solicit
Whip out the pics of his own.
the
And say,
gents
hey
at the
guys, you
table.
got anything you want to share?
Yeah, hey,
No, but
you
like
don't need
this.
to leave me a tip, but we need a tip.
Yeah, so this man is just out his top, and he's always like, and he evidently has like a business, a shed business that he started, and is worth over $6 million. He said he's just doing this.
Well, that's nice that he just wants to give charity to the restaurant.
That's what he said. He just doing it to keep. I don't know,
I'm
man.
just trying to stay busy. My shed business doesn't keep me busy
It's
enough.
so exhausting, dude.
Yeah, just I understand the personality type. I think. I mean, just somebody that's always on 11,
Yeah,
and everything feels like it's overblown and exaggerated, and you're like, I just don't know how to even treat you like a normal person because everything is otherworldly with you.
I can't even imagine like having that kind of like energy to keep that up all the time. I always wonder that with people like them. Like, how do you do you sleep? Do you wake up like this? Like,
I
or do you
woke
got
up
to
like
get
this.
into it like on the way to work in the car? Do you got to start ramping up? Like,
It's crazy.
it's insane to me.
What does he say in the I think you should leave? I forced myself to smile for 10 minutes a day. Just so when I think back on my life, I can think about all the times I had, or whatever, the good times. This dude on the way to work, he just starts fake smiling.
And he has an hour and 20-minute drive every day.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
my God.
He's
I'm
coming
glad
from-
doing this for charity.
dude, it's crazy. But like also my friend Callie like saw him in the office. He got a call from his he got a call from his boyfriend, and it's just a picture of this like his boyfriend. He always talks about how hot and Brazilian his boyfriend is, and his screensaver for his boyfriend is just like him in a banana hammock, and he's just like this Brazilian with like a 6-pack and all this. So I just think it's such a funny image, man. It's like, you know, and he's like just this like, you know, I feel like I've said too much already, but
you know, I feel like
So you're just saying that this dude is a catch for him?
He's
batting out of his,
but that makes me think that there's some legitimacy to this business success he has.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, so
Shed Man. All right.
I did get him with a good one-liner I'll share, though, because he was like...
Was there any specific incident this week that just made him stand out in your head, or you just were...
Well, yeah, that one with the table that he's like...
Yeah, that's insane. Like,
that's for sure.
Like, I want to know how we got from A to C, like...
Yeah.
True.
Like, why is the table praying your gayness away? Like, what did you show...
up and they just...
Because he's not like... You wouldn't think he's gay,
okay,
like, right away.
I was going to say, did they just like call this man out?
No, you wouldn't think it, like...
They got the read on
You
him?
have to talk to him for at least 3 minutes. Like, I don't know.
3 minutes.
I like that he's got a very specific time window.
It's like, yeah, you'll know within 3 minutes.
2 minutes is quite enough to get You really got to get to...
Like, when I hadn't spoke with him, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, other than that, like, just, you know, run-of-the-mill restaurant stuff, like...
Yeah.
I mean, interesting things have happened to me in the past couple of weeks, but I will not be sharing because I'm not Kyle Portwood and I don't have to.
Hey, there you
It's
go.
true. Yeah. I mean, look, he shares when people don't even ask. And I ask and he won't share, so. Some people have different filters than others.
Oh, man.
That's just nuts, land. We're probably just going to reference that for all this episode and many future episodes.
Yeah, I'm never going to forget this.
So anybody that in future episodes need to get to the lore, just make sure to come back to episode 44, and you'll always be filled in on the Kyle Portwood saga.
What do you think the inches to centimeters like? What's the metric there? Like, what's the ratio?
Was he rocking?
Because it'd be hilarious if his penis was 44 centimeters long.
I mean, he's
good for him. All right,
right? What'd you say, Bob?
He's doing all right.
Look, the man's fine.
I mean, he puts the wood in Portwood.
He does.
He's very comfortable taking pictures.
Yeah, not worried about it at all.
Yeah, and obviously he's got no qualms about sharing with people that he hasn't talked to in over a decade. So
I'm trying to think how different my life was the last time Kyle Portwood was in it.
we've gone through I've gone through multiple cycles of life since that man.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally had not been in Indiana yet.
Yeah.
Well, I had, but like, you know, I had not lived in Indiana.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
My life has changed 4 times drastically, and now Kyle is reappearing.
This is the 5th.
Yeah.
He's changed my life.
Is the 5th.
Marshawn Lynch, hold my dick. Hold my dick, Bob.
He just, I guess, wants to have it held so he can get.
Now, everybody, I want you to text and comment. Should we have Bob engage more with this man for
100%.
No.
Right? He didn't do
You
anything
got to see
illegal.
where this goes.
Well,
this
he
is
did.
one of those like.
He said, well, he did. He said,
like Nick was saying, this is like a
unsolicited
simulation fucking breach.
with women in it that aren't giving their consent to these pictures.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
we don't like
That's
that.
fair. We don't agree
Yeah,
with that.
He definitely is stepping over bounds.
I really think he just wants to see your dick.
I know.
Like,
I'm
really
not trying
think
to engage in this, but you
Live on air right now for podcast history.
But you guys are out
Has
here.
this ever
trying
happened
to,
on a podcast, you think?
No.
There's had to have been a podcast.
Maybe Adam
that-
22.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair point.
This is 2025. There's a lot of
Exactly, it's 2025. There's so many times where that pervert Howard Stern made women do things.
Real.
And I think it's time that we reverse it and encourage Bob.
Come on, Bob. Just take out your dick.
Yeah,
just
just
take a
pull it
picture.
out, pull it
and,
out, Bob.
Send it to him
For the podcast.
I'm a Howard Stern. I don't really have a good Howard Stern.
I don't even know what Howard Stern sounds like,
I've
honestly.
only seen clips. Never listened to his show in total.
Pull out your dick, Bob.
Dude, Kyle will, like, that is
The
just,
episode, I guess.
I mean, what a loser. What a loser pervert.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Just definitely bizarro behavior. So, in the words of Blink 182, where do we go from here?
I'm feeling this. Place your hand in mine. Place your hand somewhere.
Hey.
He wants you to.
Look, I'm trying to pivot, and I got.
How do you pivot?
I don't know how you go anywhere from the. Like I said, there was no way we could have got through this episode without bringing this up.
It's true.
I do want to fucking shout out Brant though, because Brant from afar was keeping this thing rolling heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was calling in
Brant
with the
was,
fodder.
yeah.
He found it. He because I was taking pictures from my phone of Bob's screen and sending them to Brant throughout this. And Brant was calling me to encourage some of the topics to bring up.
So this was a team effort. This was a group effort, and I feel like we nailed it.
We did. And
I feel like we nailed it.
Something was
Like everything was vague
Nailed.
from our end, and somehow this man still just got down the rabbit holes he wanted to go down.
He's bricked up, Bob.
bricked up Kyle.
Yeah.
But what I don't get is though, like I was dropping some of my like
You were throwing some heat.
best puns I've had in a while,
Yeah.
and he said, "Wait, what?"
He was
Dude.
not understanding hard as
Painting
the
the
bar
corners
exam.
95 is top tier shit. And he's just like, what?
Yeah.
Look, I guess when you live in Europe, you don't think about
That's
baseball
fair.
very
You
often.
should have hit him with like a fucking
Bend it like Beckham, dude.
ping to pass from.
Yeah, dude.
What's some cricket terms? Anybody got any?
Brother, I couldn't even
there's
begin to tell
T30.
you.
Or badminton? Is that the other one? Not badminton. What's the one where they?
there's badminton,
I guess it is
shuttlecock.
cricket with like the
He
ball
shuttlecock
bounces and they hit it and they got
Yeah,
it.
that's cricket.
Okay.
It's a great.
It looks cool, but
I'm
I've
starting
never
to
gotten
learn
into
cricket
it.
more from John Boy Media.
Okay.
They play a form of cricket in warehouse
No,
games.
croquet is the one in the front yard.
Yeah,
with the
croquet is
ball.
where they got the balls and the hammer.
And then what's the
mallet.
one with the birdie?
That's
and
badminton.
With shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock, baby.
Badminton. Wait. Badminton's the name of the
Yeah,
sport.
yeah.
They hit a shuttlecock.
All these foreign sports.
Is badminton foreign?
It originated in Europe. It
I'm
got
sure it
brought to
probably
the
did.
Americas.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what originated in Europe was Kyle Portwood's text to you.
Also originated in
all
Europe.
ties in. It all comes back.
So, will you send another message before the pod ends?
No, he's got 3 messages that were last sent to me, and I've not responded to, and I do not really intend to.
An on-air response
one
might
of
be
those-
historical.
If
Yes.
one of those last 3 messages, I believe one
Was
of
a
them
penis.
was
Yeah.
Well, there was a penis pic, and I think one of the other messages was, "I love spreading pussy."
Oh, God.
That is true. Yeah, he did say that.
I'm sorry
What a
again,
deviant,
Mom.
dude.
He said, "I'm sorry again, Mom." Look, we are in our 30s, and this is life.
Yeah, that's.
Well,
yeah.
this should not be like
This shouldn't be.
Well, this should not be.
Shouldn't be.
This
Sex
is
in the city, brother.
This is a simulation.
Absolutely.
Is a simulation where people from your past show up and want to get horny with you.
That's the title right there. That's it.
People from your past show up and want to get horny with you.
Oh shit!
On a Wednesday. Kendrick's
Wednesday, right? Come on,
Do
man.
this to me with Kendrick's.
Okay, not
Disrespecting SZA like that?
Damn, dude, he wasn't a scissor, all right.
SZA, me, Timbers. All right. Well, we got a few things to get through before we get out of here. So we're
You
gonna
know
get
what? Everybody likes Kyle and everyone else cereal,
They do like cereal.
Cereal.
and
Everybody loves cereal.
we've done some food topics, and now we have a 3-burger Mount Rushmore here. So the Mount Rushmore this week is going to be our favorite cereals.
Cereals. There's a lot of options here. So we got 3 of us this week. Brady being the guest to this week's show. We're going to let you call this coin in the air again.
shoot.
We got the office coin.
I see it.
You see it. You've heard about this,
I
I'm sure,
have.
from past episodes. So you got the blank side and you got the side that says the office.
Call it in the air? All
and I'm
right.
going to let it hit the ground.
Big blanks, baby.
It is big blanks.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so we'll pick what you like, 1, 2, or 3.
I feel like it has to be Frosted Flakes.
So you're
Oh,
going
I'm
first
just going
pick, he's
straight in.
right
Yeah,
That's
it has to be
perfect.
Frosted
That's fine.
Flakes.
So he
Brady,
has.
first pick, Frosted Flakes.
All right,
They're great.
They are.
there you go.
Tony the Tiger, one of the top mascots.
Right off the cuff.
Yeah,
Now, do
Tony's
you,
got to be the best.
do you want to
cereal
flip a call
mascot.
space or office?
For me,
Yeah,
so you got to flip it, or should I flip it?
I'll flip it.
Brady will flip it. I'm gonna throw the coin to Brady.
call it in the air.
Hit him off the nipple. All right, here we go.
titty.
Flip. Office.
A little aggressive with the flip. It is off.
It is obvious.
You want 2 or 3?
The coin went around the basement here, but it landed on office. I'm gonna go 3. You can have the second pick because I want that back-to-back
Okay.
pick.
But now that we have the order, Brady, would you like to continue on talking about your Frosted Flakes pick at all?
I mean, yeah, I just think Frosted Flakes is like the standard. I think that's the gold standard of cereals. You can't go wrong with a bowl of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah,
There's so much you can do with them. They're versatile. You can cut little bananas up in them. That's what I like to do.
They're derivative of like the standard
The corn flakes. Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm stealing anybody's pick with cornflakes.
No,
if
I don't
I am
believe so,
whatever.
yeah.
Because I mentioned it, God forbid. If it comes
Insane
to you in the
work.
draft.
I don't like when he does that, but
Look, if it comes to you in the draft, it comes to you in the draft. It don't matter.
yeah, but it's like we don't tip picks.
Fair. But Frosted Flakes definitely is like an OG.
Yeah,
cereal.
I
mean,
just don't
because
think
of
And
the-
probably the number 1 mascot in all of cereal,
They're
right?
great. I do love
yeah.
Frosted
Without
Flakes.
tipping picks, that is probably it's Tony. Everybody knows Tony the Tiger. We love alliteration,
Yes.
and
tease.
you can't. It's hard to argue with 1-1 being Frosted Flakes.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. So
My number 2
Zadie.
picks.
Who
My
your
number
first
2 pick
Number 2 in a spot.
will be
2 overall.
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate flavor.
Damn. We're just gonna have to see how many of the mascot things.
The
and
jingles.
Now I
we
picked
get.
that because I did want it to get back to me. I do love Reese's Puffs. I love the flavor. I think they capture the flavor very well.
Yeah.
I do think a downside of them, you have to eat them relatively fast because they get soggy quickly. And
I will say, of all soggy cereals, because all cereals tend to get soggy over time, I don't mind a soggy Cocoa Puff as much as I.
oh, this is
dislike
a
some
Reese's
other
Puff.
stuff. Well, Reese's Puff. I'm sorry.
Yes.
He said, "I'm going to need you not to mention other cereals."
Yeah, this is a Reese's Puff, not to be
Reese's
confused.
Puff is what I meant to say. Reese's Puffs aren't nearly as like uneatable when they're soggy like some other cereals
That's
can
fair.
become uneatable.
I'm a big Reese's Puffs guy, and that's why I took them with my friend. Would you have
And
taken them?
also a great dry cereal. I can just
Yeah,
raw dog.
absolutely.
You're a Reese's Puffs fan?
I am, yeah.
And they even itch that like I just want something kind of sweet right now. 11 o'clock at night, give me something sweet. Handful of Reese's Puffs.
Bam.
Quenched. You know
Oh.
that desire.
Phenomenal. So I'm happy
That's a
with
good
it.
pick. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. So all right, I get 2. Now we are at the 3rd overall, 4th overall. My 1 and 2. I'm gonna go Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Bam, I
for
like
my
it.
first pick. It's a pretty elite cereal. It's in a class of its own. You know, you don't have much other cereals that are similar shaped and flavored. And again, that's a pretty good cereal when it gets soggy. I don't hate it. And it takes long it seems like for it to become pretty soggy. And then you get a pretty elite milk
You
drink at
definitely
the
do,
end.
yeah.
Like that cinnamon milk.
It is. It's a little horchata.
Yeah, definitely in that vein.
Yeah. You get back-to-back picks here.
I know I do. I was trying to think of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch jingle, if there was one.
I don't know.
No.
don't think
Makes
there
your pick
was.
worse, but it's okay.
They had that weird little chef on the box, but I don't know
Yeah,
if he ever
for the
said
longest
anything.
time.
Yeah, why was there a chef
I
on
don't
there?
know.
Chef Boyard.
Chef Boyardee was branching out.
Because it was French toast. No, it wasn't French toast.
No, that
Crunch.
was
That's
like a
something
derivative of it for a while. Though. They
Yeah.
had the little French toast.
Yes,
crunch.
I remember those.
He said, yes, queen. That was good.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Okay,
And one.
perfect. I'm torn here on my second pick because like I got a few that I really do like, and I'm trying to think of which one is more likely to be taken before it comes back around to me. All right, honeycomb. Boom.
Oh,
I'm glad I took
Oh,
that one.
no.
Tough.
It was coming off the board.
Nice.
That was my pick.
Woo! Got it in there.
Got him.
Dude, honeycomb.
Super elite dry
so
cereal
good.
also.
Also,
Yeah.
agreed.
I mean, God.
Such a good dry cereal. I can put down like a good portion of a box.
Make me feel better. If I took honeycombs, would you have taken Reese's Puffs?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. 100%. I did. Reese's Puffs would have been before honeycomb if it
Okay.
was still there.
All right. Yeah, honeycombs elite, and they have that crazy mascot. Right?
Yeah, the dude that was just
like
again,
always- was he
the
trying to-
second time that Donnie Thornberry
It
comes
was like a
up and-
crackhead.
He was, yeah, it's this little crackhead. It was a little
Jerry
furry
Seinfeld
crackhead.
bee.
And he's like, all the time.
Yeah, you said
Donnie
Donnie Thornberry.
Thornberry,
Yeah, so that's definitely. I mean, honeycombs is elite.
It's
and
super good, yeah.
I like it when it gets soggy, which is like a big thing for me.
Yeah, because it never gets too soggy. the
Right.
honeycomb. It
It's
doesn't.
always still got a little
little
it.
bite to it right in the middle.
Damn, I want a bowl of honeycombs.
kind of do. Yeah, you flipped me with this one. It wasn't on my list, but
I love honeycombs.
I had like it was last year. I had bought a box of honeycomb for the first time in multiple years, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" Reintroduced to that. That was so good. Good
Yeah.
choice. Good choice for myself.
My next pick will be. I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to build a balance board,
so that's where my mind's at too. Keep it.
and so I am going to go with Fruit Loops. Ooh. I love Fruit Loops. It's another one where I can eat dry. I think they branch out, and Fruit Loops has branched out and done other things
Toucan
besides
Sam?
cereal. Yeah, Toucan Sam. Also, I think one of the elite mascots. Now, Fruit Loops, there was like a Mandela effect. It's spelled with Fruit, but people thought it was Froot, or is it something like
I've
that?
always thought it was just regular fruit. I don't know.
One of those, but doing a
Our
podcast
fourth
here.
guest here.
Penny is now joined us in the basement, my dog, and she's decided it's time to play with her toys. So if you hear some squeaking, that's just Penny making herself known.
Like, what's up, bro?
Yeah,
I
but
heard you guys were talking about food.
I love Fruit Loops. I can eat it dry. I can eat it with milk, and I also don't mind like
Eat
this.
it in a house. Would you eat it with a mouse?
Yes,
I'd do all those things. Yeah.
Fruit Loops. I don't know how like popular it is amongst the cereal community, but I'm a big fan.
Fruit Loop milk, also top tier.
Yeah.
Yes, good call.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brady, for boosting my
I think it
pickup.
has to be very popular. You see a lot of Fruit Loop flavored things that aren't cereal. Like you see that flavor used in the smoking world a lot. Like a lot of Fruit Loop
the vapes.
flavored vapes
Yeah.
and other smoking stiffs. Yeah, this dog is distracted.
Just getting
You're
in there,
just
yeah.
not helping the situation.
Just
right now.
really getting after it.
So Brady, we are to you. You get double picks now.
Yeah, this one kind of changed my approach because I don't know that this will get back around by the time I get to number 4. So I'm going with Fruity Pebbles.
Yes, I was between
Fruity
those
Pebbles
two.
is
I think I like Fruity Pebbles more than Fruity Loops personally.
this is just a weird texture. Like I'm a big texture and like temperature. Fruity Pebbles milk
gazpacho
stays
soup is burning.
cold.
Oh, really?
It just stays cold to me. It's like colder
Yeah.
than like oftentimes the milk warms up. You're eating cereal. It's kind of like all right. Fruity Pebbles milk stays cold. It's clutch.
And another one with the milk is very good tasting at the end, and you get some of those last
Yeah,
little
those
residual
little
Fruity
buddies.
Pebbles. Yeah, yes.
So yeah, Fruity Pebbles definitely superior to Cocoa Pebbles. Recently we bought a bag of Fruity Pebbles, and it had marshmallows in it, like the Lucky Charms marshmallows.
Oh, well, we
How
don't
did
tip
that
picks,
come out?
but okay.
It was fantastic.
You can't talk about other cereal.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. But yeah, it was the marshmallows of not recognizable from any other cereal, and it was fantastic.
No other
Also-
cereal has marshmallows.
Man, I want a bowl of cereal so bad.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking we're gonna have to go get cereal after this.
Yeah, is there any stores open?
Sure.
QT got
Yeah,
cereal,
QT's
right?
got
Yeah.
cereal.
Do they?
Yeah.
Got to.
You're going to pay that gas station price, but it's got
That's
cereal.
real.
That's fine.
And you see Fruit Loops, and I see Fruity Pebbles a lot too, at like hotels where they'll give you the cereal options. And like if you're at a brunch or anything, and they got cereal options, you'll see Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles often. I feel like at most of those.
All right. Yeah.
So for my next one, I was between two of them, but I have to go with Honey Bunches of Oats.
It is
Got to
great.
get adult in this one.
He said,
I feel like
"Gotta
that's
get
an
adult in
adult
this one."
cereal. That's
For
when
sure.
you're like
What kid's
upgraded.
walking down the
Right,
aisle
like,
picking up Honey
I
Bunches
want a
of
bunch
Oats and
of
saying,
oats,
I need these
but I
cereal.
do. I want that because it's
Papa,
delicious.
Papa, we are running out of Honey Bunches of Oats.
And it doubles as a good pet name for a partner.
There you go.
Bunches.
Yeah,
Honey Bunches.
solid. But yeah, it's got that
I don't think I've
crunch
ever
to it.
referred
It's
to a
got
partner
the
as Honey Bunches, even ironically.
That's not what your text to
not what
Kyle
you're-
said.
It's not what it's not said.
oh man,
Honey Bunches, though, it's
Oh,
okay.
Kyle.
So you're building yourself a little,
Yeah,
little team
trying to keep
over
it
there.
well
Some
balanced.
diversity.
Yeah.
A good portfolio here. I mean,
Yeah.
we're stretching it out to 12 different cereals.
There was another honey-based cereal. I was like, but
Again,
had to go with
can't
the
talk about other
bunches.
cereals.
Yeah, had to go with the bunches.
We already talked about honeycomb. Ooh, that was good. Honey baked cereal. Honey bunches of oats. I didn't have much Honey Bunches of Oats. I feel like it's a lot of work. You know, some of those can be
That's
a little
fair.
big, little big chunks. It's the same reason I don't like another type of frosted cereal that's got bigger chunks.
Agreed.
So
I'm with you on that one.
we can maybe get into those after we all named ours because Davey doesn't like talking about other cereals.
Well, I'm not going to take Raisin Bran.
It's not Raisin Bran. It's
Oh, sorry.
I almost did. I ain't
You
even
did?
gonna lie to you. love
I
some
hate
Raisin
raisins, so
Ah, dude.
I'm sorry for
It's all good.
Tate.
for shitting on his maybe take.
Maybe. I'm sorry.
No, it was
said, "I'm
not. I've got a
I'm sorry."
specific one in for number 4.
So he's got his 2 down. So what you're at Frosted Flakes,
Frosted Flakes, Fruity Pebbles, and Honey Bunches of
Honey
Oats.
Bunches of Oats. Back to Zavy.
I feel like I gotta take now get more to a balanced one, and I'm gonna have to take Honey Nut Cheerios. It is a juggernaut.
You can do so much
Absolutely.
with it. You can dress them up, dress them down.
Yes, I mean if you
It's like
all
a
the
good
things you
pair
can,
of jeans, you know?
all the things you can do with Cheerios, you could do with Honey Nut Cheerios, and the Honey Nuts just add
just
such
better.
a better flavor.
Yeah.
You could cut up some bananas, blueberries, strawberries, whatever you're feeling. Honey Nut Cheerios, and I always think
Have it
of
as is, or throw a whole bunch
Another
more sugar
clutch
in
dry
there.
cereal.
Kevin Garnett telling
Dry cereal. We use it for pig treats a lot.
Oh, shoot.
Pig loves her some Honey Bunches, or not Honey Bunches, but the Honey Oats. You know.
Do you remember Kevin Garnett telling Carmelo Anthony that his wife tasted like Honey
I
Nut
do
Cheerios?
remember that. Yeah. Elite shit talking.
Yikes!
Elite.
I always think of that too, which is just la la Anthony.
Boy. KG, man.
You don't want to
What a
taste
guy.
like Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios?
There's probably better things to taste like than Honey Nut Cheerios.
We'll do that Mount Rushmore. We'll do that Mount Rushmore another day.
for future episodes.
We'll call Kyle in for that one. Get
What
the
a
expert
top.
on the case.
Okay, here we go. Top things that taste like. Go. I don't think the cereal makes the top. That's a good pick, though. So you got a nice balanced list. So,
Yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios.
yeah, and that goes along with your other 2 picks.
Yep. Fruit Loops and Reese's Puffs.
Yep. Thanks for bringing us back up to speed. I needed it. That's why I was asking. I felt like I really had to ask hard to get refreshed on that list. All right, so I'm sitting on Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Honeycombs, and I got my last 2 picks here. Yeah, I'm glad I got the pick I got.
Yeah, yeah.
So, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I will go. I'm glad this remained because this was kind of what I was going back and forth with on my honeycomb pick. I'm gonna go Tricks for my next pick.
Okay.
Silly Rabbit.
Cool
Tricks are for
trickies.
kids.
Now, do you like the balls or the shapes?
Yeah, that's a good point. I absolutely did not like the move to go to the balls. I thought the cereal was better when they were the shapes. I think it's a texture thing. The balls are already kind of soft, like so they get really soggy real quick. The little fruit shapes were more
compact.
dense, yeah, and so they didn't nearly get as soggy as quick. So definitely lost me a little bit. Tricks when you went to the ball shapes. So forever, bring back old Tricks.
It's real.
Can we get a campaign going? Like, where do you think? Who do we talk to?
Use
for
the
this?
power of this podcast,
But
baby.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll get our
it
sponsors
out there,
on it.
yeah.
We'll get
we
our
are.
sponsors on it. Pull our
We're
resources.
we're sponsored by Kellogg's, and we're still working on our. What's the other big
General
one?
Mills.
General Mills.
Well, look, Post Holdings is one of
Post, yeah.
They are one of St. Louis's 7 Fortune 500 companies.
It's real.
so we are sponsored
we're
by Post
basically there.
or no?
Yeah, we're
We
basically
are
sponsored,
by them.
Post,
We are
yeah.
still waiting for their first check to come. You know, they're
we'll
not.
get it.
They haven't paid for this advertising time.
So
yet,
we're
but
just kidding about the General Mills reference
Yeah,
and
get them
the
out of here. Pack them up.
Kellogg's.
Get them out of here.
That was a test to see if Post was listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Trix is my third choice, and for my last choice,
Bring up the rear.
I'm gonna go with Cocoa Pebbles.
Okay.
Wow, Brady,
Okay.
shit on them, and I like this.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm gonna go Cocoa
Nope.
Crisps.
No,
I don't know if there's
no,
a
run
difference. I guess.
Really,
like,
I mean, it's just a
Cocoa
texture,
Crisp is a rice.
yeah.
Cocoa Pebbles is a pebble.
Pebble.
Thanks for clearing that one up real good.
I look at Cocoa and Fruity Pebbles, and I think that's a pebble.
That's pebbles. Those are pebbles.
Now, who's on the cover? Because
Cocoa
the
Pebbles
pebble,
are different than the Cocoa.
I don't know.
the
if they
pebble
are,
brand
to be
is
honest.
Flintstone, right?
Yeah.
So Fruity Pebbles has got.
I feel like it's just
want
the
the
two
flat
different
ones.
companies have.
I guess I want the crisp because I want the flat ones. I don't want the balls. I'm talking the flat cocoa.
No, there's no balls. It's just rice and like.
I think they're both rice, honestly.
Well, what's the Cocoa Crisps? Or the
Yeah,
Cocoa?
I think they're just two competing brands.
Okay, well,
You took Cocoa Crisp.
ones- yeah.
You took the outfielder for the Cleveland
right.
Indians.
Chicago White Sox as well.
Well, put them on my
Covelli,
list.
right? Covelli Crisp.
Yeah, so that rounds out mine. I'm pretty happy with mine. I got a cinnamon
solid
cereal,
list.
a honey cereal, a fruity cereal, and a chocolate cereal.
I'm gonna take one. Ah, man, gosh, there is a lot of great cereals.
I was gonna say I've got so many honorable mentions.
Yeah, this is a good topic.
I'm between one that Brady already named.
It's a good one.
They are magically delicious.
They
and
are.
I'm also thinking of,
magically delicious.
when I'm in the mood for. Gosh, man, this is
You won't
tough.
offend me if you take it. It is not my fourth.
No. I know. I'm just thinking of like, do I go with this niche one? But
My fourth is, I feel niche. I feel confident that it's not going to be brought up, and that's why I've held on to it. But it might be my favorite.
well, you know what? I have to take this because it is such a good cereal, and it's not one of the ones I was debating. But it just came to my head. I was like, I can't believe this hasn't been taken, and that's Cap'n Crunch. And I am going to take Cap'n Crunch. I'm going to take Cap'n Crunch, just plain Cap'n Crunch, not
no
with berries.
Yeah.
No
A
berries.
man of culture.
Well, you said I should go berries?
No, I agree with you.
Yes. I no berries.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going.
I was
Just
wondering if somebody was going to pick it. Joe, my brother, was a large fan of Cap'n Crunch. I never really got into it.
I really enjoy Cap'n Crunch.
I think it tore up the roof of my mouth too
Yes.
often.
It definitely does,
does
that.
that.
And I also just love the fact that Cece Sabathia, who's also named Cece and Cap'n Crunch,
Right.
lost 70 pounds. And one of the main things he said, he just stopped eating Cap'n Crunch.
it.
He was eating so much Cap'n
So
Crunch
much.
that cutting out of it led to a huge part of his 70-pound weight loss. And I think that's awesome.
What a guy.
He said that is amazing.
Cece Sabathia is the man. Cap'n Crunch is great. And another elite mascot. Everybody knows the sailor,
Yeah.
right?
The sailor?
The
Big captain. Yeah, he's a captain.
Oh, yeah, the man with the blue hat. Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. For show.
Yeah, so
Captain.
I'm happy.
Mr. Crunch, as some others might call him, before he was captainized.
My list is Reese's Puffs, Fruit Loops, Honey Nut Cheerios, and Cap'n Crunch.
It's pretty good, too. Pretty
Pretty good 4.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, from the 2-hole?
Yeah.
That's what you mean? Okay.
No, I just think that's a tough list in general.
All right.
I like it.
Captain
Thanks.
Crunch could take a hike, but, not my list. Not my list.
So my number 4 pick, and honestly might be my favorite cereal. Like I said, this is it's an off the wall one, but it goes back to that texture thing. It's interchangeable because I think Post and one of the two other ones both have their version of it, but either Honey Smacks or Golden Puffs.
Ooh.
It's just a
yes.
phenomenal
It is a great
cereal.
texture.
It's
It's
the texture's good.
That's higher on my list than Captain Crunch.
It
for
makes
sure.
your pee smell just like it, oddly
Wow.
enough, which is
It's the
entertaining
asparagus
to
of
me.
cereals.
Yeah.
And that's, not a bad
Not,
smelling
not
pea.
bad, yeah.
Better than asparagus.
But yeah, I
Way
think
better than
texturally
asparagus.
just fantastic. And it's another one that I feel like it keeps the milk relatively cold for some reason.
That's a big thing for you.
It is. Big
They
texture
are-
and temperature.
it is good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad things in food, but warm milk is
God.
maybe Mount Rushmore of bad food.
Bad
things.
food, yeah.
Like hot milk, warm milk.
I don't understand, people just drink warm milk, on
Happy
purpose
Gilmore's
sometimes.
grandma.
Yeah, right.
My,
That's why they put her out in the field. That's why they gave her backache.
nice warm milk. Dude, my
They said, get
stepsisters.
this woman out of
So
my
you want to go
sight."
through your 4?
My stepsisters used to drink warm milk. They would get a glass of
so
milk and let that
bizarre.
shit just sit on the counter and come back to it hours later and put it back. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, you can't.
What are you
be doing
doing?
that. That's insane work. But
I
yeah,
want
my,
that the coldest it can possibly be before it
Absolutely.
freezes.
If I'm drinking a glass of milk, it's got to be quick. It's got to be one take. Let's go.
Yeah,
One take Timmy.
But yeah, I guess my list was Frosted Flakes, Fruity Pebbles, Honey Bunches of Oats, and rounded out with either Golden Puffs or Honey Smacks.
That is a great
Either
list.
or.
Yeah, 2 brands.
Definite diversity.
Yeah.
Now I think I have a lot of honorable mentions. If you put some
Captain
on-
Crunch, if hadn't gone, was going to be my honorable mention because that's a phenomenal cereal.
Well, thank you,
Yeah, I think we're gonna probably get a lot of flack for not mentioning
Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
So I was thinking. So when I was deciding between because I also was a big Apple Jacks fan.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That is a great honorable mention.
Good
I
stuff.
already had Fruit Loops, which is why I veered away because it is a
Similar-ish.
Yeah.
Now, a cereal that I love that might be a little more niche, but again, I love the texture and airiness, and I think you can eat it plain, and that's Pops, corn Pops.
Pops are good, dude.
Like I think that's kind of a
They
slept
had a
on.
good tagline too. It's escaping me right now.
Gotta have my
But
pops, man.
Gotta have my pops. Yes,
good.
yes, queen.
Yeah, and then I always thought I don't know if they even still make it, but Eggo used to make a cereal that was like a waffle.
Oh shoot!
A waffle.
I feel like I remember that.
The waffle Eggo cereal, which was really good.
There was like mini French toast ones too. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
That
we
might have been
mentioned-
the French
Those
toast
were
crunch or
delicious.
whatever.
Yeah, and they're in the same kind of vein. The cookie crisp or whatever.
I don't like Cookie Crisp.
You don't not a Cookie Crisp
Not
fan.
a Cookie Crisper.
I like Cookie Crisp much more as just like a regular snack, like
I
dry
can see that. I've
cereal,
never tried that. I
Than
don't
like
think.
doing it regular.
The idea behind it's
cereals.
there, right? Because cookies and milk, I mean,
Yeah, they are pair well together.
they go together like Portwood and dick pics.
That's right, baby. It all circles back.
It all goes back to gosh. There's some more. Like, we have
Golden
to,
Grams was a
Smackers.
contender on my list as well.
and is that like more like a graham cracker base?
Yeah, that's like
Kind of
the,
the shape of
same shape as Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
right?
but honey.
So if you didn't like
yeah.
Cookie Crisp,
But
were
like
you an
corn
Oreos
texture.
fan?
No, oddly enough, I did not like Oreo O's, but I did like
Oreo
remember
O's.
Those were
Nesquik
okay.
had a
I didn't
cereal
like
for a
those.
Yes,
minute.
I do remember
Nesquik
that.
cereal was fantastic.
And then I think a great honorable mention too, because it's seasonal. But you have the Frankenberry,
Oh,
the
God, yeah.
the Blueberry, and the raspberry one. What was that?
Yeah, shoot, shoot. There's the Dracula.
like a Dracula.
There's the Ghost, and
That's
then there's the
blueberries.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, so Frankenberry.
Yeah.
So it was But those are elite. I think
Those
that's
are
a
good, yeah.
Millberry product, maybe
Shoot,
something.
man,
Like.
there's so many cereal brands out there. We didn't even.
But those, I would have thought about. Would you guys let me take all three of those as one?
I think they go as a. I think they go as a
As
pair.
a unit.
Yeah.
My dad's favorite cereal, and my dad hated that we didn't mention some honorable mentions this week. So I'm trying to cross all of our T's and
Right.
dot every I we have. His one of his favorite cereals of all time is Blueberry. He
That
loves
is good, man.
he's a blueberry guy. He'll be on his grave one day. Here lies Bill, blueberry guy.
Blueberry Bill.
Blueberry Black Sabbath Bill. The alliteration will be perfect. Yeah. Call in big blueberry guy. But yeah, I mean, I think we nailed a lot of.
I think, we covered
is
a.
oatmeal a cereal, or is it a different category?
I think oatmeal's a different thing,
It's an oat.
but I love oatmeal.
Porridge.
Do love it. I do believe it is a porridge.
You milk or water in your oatmeal?
I'm milk.
Milk.
I like quick and easy. I'll do water
Do you?
most times. Yeah.
Tell us you're poor without telling us you're poor.
Sometimes I'd make grilled cheese and I'd forget to put cheese on there because we didn't have any. Just 2 slices of bread with butter.
It's like in Friday when he's making the bowl of Cap and Crunch, and he's like, "We ain't got no milk." She said, "Better put some water on that shit."
Try orange juice.
yeah. So I mean, overall,
So that's solid Mount
I think that's a
Rushmore,
good,
fellas.
good solid bit of cereals there.
So
I can't think of any that I would want to mention as an honorable
I think-
beyond what we.
I'd have to. I mean, if I really sat down and thought about it, I'm sure we could. We didn't really talk about Cocoa Pebbles, the round ones with the Count Chocula or whatever.
Because they suck, man.
They're not that awesome. They're fine, but I never usually went to him. So fuck those guys. But so all right. Before we get out of here, do you want me to give you guys an "Am I the Asshole"?
of course,
Absolutely.
He said, "Absolutely." So it's 10:35 local time. We're getting down to
It's
it.
not 3 a.m.
It's not 3 a.m.
I was going to say, I'm not feeling particularly horny, so that makes sense.
So I found this one this week.
get horny with me.
Am I the asshole for going off of my coworker after she tried to discipline my kid at a work barbecue?
All right,
All right.
I might finally. Okay, we'll hear it out.
Yeah, we'll hear it out. I, 31-year-old female, work in marketing at a mid-sized company. We had a casual barbecue at my boss's house, and we were told it was fine to bring partners and kids. I brought my 5-year-old son. He's super social, not perfect, obviously, but generally well-behaved and respectful. Enter Kelly, fake name, a coworker in her late 30s who has no kids and has said multiple times that she doesn't like them, quote unquote. and makes passive comments whenever someone brings a kid to the office, and then in parentheses, even for 10 minutes or to pick something up. So Kelly doesn't like kids. Back to it. She acts like the mere presence of a child gives her a migraine. At the barbecue, my son was playing tag with some other kids in the yard. They were loud, sure, but it's a barbecue, outside with other kids, normal stuff. Out of nowhere, I see Kelly grab my son by the arm and snap at him. You need to stop yelling. You're not at a zoo. I swear to God, I thought I misheard. My kid looked freaked out and came running to me. I walked up to her and said something like, "Don't talk to my child like that. If you have an issue, you come to me. Don't touch him again, and you definitely don't insult him." She rolled her eyes and said something and said someone had to set boundaries. Since she's doing like a lot of quotes, that's what's throwing me off here. Since I clearly wasn't going to, I lost it. I told her to stay away from my kid and that she had no business putting her hands on anybody else's child. People definitely heard, and it was awkward for sure. Now she's cold at work, and another coworker said I overreacted and that Kelly was just trying to help. Am I the asshole for causing a scene? Anybody want to go
ahead, Brady.
As a father, I'm just going to let you know right now, if somebody put their hand on my kid in a situation, I'm beating the shit out of them. Just straight up. Just off rip, no questions asked. You're getting hands.
That's
just me. I don't know.
That's probably where it definitely makes a turn, right? Like if somebody just says, "Hey,
if
stop
you,
being loud,"
we're probably gonna have words if you come at my kid crazy.
Yeah.
But if you put your hands on him, I'm putting hands on you now.
Like if I'm
that's how that
envisioning
works.
them, like them walking up or the kids running by and they just like grab the arm and say, "Hey, stop being loud." Like that's aggressive.
That's
crazy.
too much. That's wild work.
I mean, like he said, and I'm not a parent, but it's a parent that nobody should be touching anybody. I don't know why, like, the wires were crossed at the whole house.
He's got my wires crossed somewhere along the line.
I don't know. I just think, like, I would say it's another case of, obviously, I think it's another case of obviously you're not the asshole, but obviously people at her work are making her feel like she was out of line, so that is why.
Which is also weird to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked this question. I have, I don't know. Nobody knows. Do you think she maybe changed some of the details of the story to paint Kelly, and maybe this woman didn't actually grab the child by the arm? Let's just say she snapped at the kid and said, "Hey, you need to keep it down," or like, you're being really loud or whatever. Like she said something like that to the kid, and then this person freaked out, and then once she started getting a little blowback from coworkers, comes up with the detail of, "Oh, well, she grabbed him by the arm," and then runs to Reddit. Looking for.
I think that's always a possibility.
Sure. I mean, all of our stories, we have to question the authenticity. Where the person who's writing it's coming from.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine a world where, like, first of all, you're the asshole for not, like, putting this woman in an arm bar after she touched your kid, if that is what happened. Like I said, I'm not a parent, but if I was and somebody grabbed my kid by the arm in the way she said, like, there's no way words would be spoken. I put that bitch in the head.
Let's look at the situation in another way. What if you're at a family barbecue and let's just say it's your parent that grabs the kid by the arm and says, "Hey,
so
you need to calm down."
Their grandpa or grandma?
Yeah.
A little less, like, because I think it would be like probably a verbal warning before that happened, or I don't know the context.
I'm just saying,
it depends on the context for sure,
of course.
Because like if it's just an unprompted, like if it's an aunt or an uncle or something, you're getting sweet chin music, like
you're getting
no questions asked. But
grandparent,
like I'm going to assess the situation, like, yo, what the fuck is happening here? Why is this a thing right now?
Yeah,
and then we'll go from there.
Because this is something I can see Jeff doing. My dad. I could see him snatching up a kid in the family, running by and being annoying, and him being like, "Hey, you need to calm down."
I could just see my mom especially being more of the always like, "What's your dad being so mean for?" Like that kind of like shit. My dad, I don't think would ever like just grab my kid up by the arm like that.
Yeah. No, I'm sure.
Being an asshole,
Yeah,
maybe, but maybe not to his grandkid. I feel like he's going to be another one. Like,
see any of my parents doing that ever.
Yeah.
I was just trying to throw in a different context to see if it's still the same.
I even think your dad is probably way more soft with his grandkids probably than he was his kids. I definitely see that. That's what I could see Jeff being like that.
Probably.
You know, people starting like like people that were hard asses on their kids seem to be a little soft spot.
Yeah, I
like
think,
Yeah.
But a stranger or a coworker
Brother,
grab my kid.
A coworker
Oh my
in
goodness!
particular, more than a stranger, because you've like, I don't
First
know.
of all, I had to host for 3 weeks at my restaurant back in the day because my manager and friend grabbed me by the arm and I said, "Are you out your fucking mind, bro?"
Yeah,
I said,
dude.
and I threatened him on the spot, and my punishment was to host for 3 weeks.
Nice.
He said my punishment was the host.
But my kid,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I
work.
got a demerit in high school because a teacher grabbed me by the arm, and I was like, "Yo, get the fuck off me!"
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like, "Yo, what are we doing here?"
So let's take that element out of it, right? They're not grabbing a kid by the arm. Where's the line for correcting a kid that's not your own?
For me, if it's like an obvious, like if in my case, like if Brooke was running around being wild, which luckily Brooke was just a fantastic kid. She's so easy.
Yeah, I can't imagine her being a wild child.
Adrian's very much that same way.
I can't.
Never been a wild one.
No. But yeah, it have to depend on a context.
You know there's kids out there that are...
Oh, absolutely. I was one of those kids. I was a shit
Me too.
Little demon spawns.
So, like, I could see with me, I was a little shithead. That would make sense, but still, like...
So, like, if you got somebody that just said, "Hey,
I know
cut
for
it out.
sure if, like,
Calm it down."
somebody, family, stranger especially, my mom would come across somebody's ass if that had happened. My dad would probably be like, "Yeah, what happened? What do we got going on here?"
Oh,
My
really?
mom would be like, "Hands."
So your dad's more mild-mannered than your parents?
My dad is definitely more of a, like, think before, and then my mom's like, "Nah, fuck all that. We're fighting."
Yeah. Said if they need correcting, I'll do the correcting.
Yeah.
See, for me, so what goes on in my inner thoughts, like to somebody else's kid, is way different than what I'm going to verbally say. I just think that's a line that you just don't cross. Like if the parent is around, especially if you know this parent to at least try to
I
parent their
would probably
kids.
talk to the parent first, like, "Hey, like..."
But context is king as usual. It's like if I know this parent usually is just ignoring and like they're not a very attentive parent,
Right.
then I might be
Stranger.
more.
You're out in public, strangers' kids acting crazy, parents not doing anything. Do you feel like somebody should eventually say, "Hey, control this child"?
Not if it's my coworker, because then it just makes things awkward.
I'd probably say some shit. Like,
If it was
not
like just
directly. I'd probably make a snide comment as I walk by. Like,
You go to the parent first, so like she said.
It's more of a just I'll say a snide comment out loud. hoping
Yeah, that's
they
what
might
I'd probably
hear
do.
it.
Like, "Hey, man,
And I don't care if they hear it.
people
I'm
need to
kinda
fucking
trying
raise their kids or something." Like,
Yeah. This kid's acting crazy. I would hate to be his parent.
Right, this would suck.
I agree with the woman in this message, though. It's like how she was asking them to handle it is come to her and say, "Hey,
absolutely."
Like that's
Like-
how I think. Like that would be my reaction: is
That's
go to the parent.
obviously the most responsible way of handling any situation where somebody's kid's acting wild.
Yeah,
is
just
like,
approach the parent first.
say, "Hey,
Like,
this is your child. Something seems a little crazy here."
yeah, you might want to.
And if you're gonna talk to the kid,
"Don't tell me how to raise my child," then you grab the parent by the arm and you slap him.
is he going country or black?
I couldn't tell which
Either
one.
way, I don't like it. He's taking a shot.
Look, you know the Karens that are out there telling you that they don't want to be told how to raise their child.
But they wouldn't sound. Karens do not sound like that.
How do you know? You ain't met them all.
You not met every
tell
Karen.
me how to raise my child.
It's Honey Bit.
Okay, so you're going country.
I'm a little bit country, and I'm a little bit ghetto.
Damn. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Okay. Any comments made by my co-host is not,
not
reflected.
representative.
Yes.
Look, Kendrick's in town, guys.
What the fuck? This show's getting off the rails, dude. Bob's got Portwood on his mind.
Jesus.
We still need an on-air reply.
Yeah. Ray Charles had Georgia. Bob has Portwood on his mind.
It's real. Portwood.
Portwood on his mind. Portwood on his mind.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, this is the Kyle Portwood episode.
That'll just be the title.
Anything else, Brady?
I mean, not that I can think of off the top. It's been an experience, though. I'm glad I got to be a part of this whole shebang here with Mr. Kyle Portwood.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely worth the trip. We didn't get to go to the concert. However, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life, for sure.
Surprise.
Didn't expect to see any dicks tonight.
Little did you know.
Saw 3.
You'd see
Well, I saw one
the
3
same
times.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Different. It's all about the Bengals.
All about them.
all about them angles.
Well.
Yeah.